A sidekick of Jamie Iceman Stevenson has been jailed for 6 years for his leading role in a multi-million-pound drug plot 4 months after he was extradited from Gangsters paradise in Dubai. Career hood Stephen Jimmy Jamieson, who's 43, today faced the music at the High Court in Glasgow over his involvement in dealing cocaine, heroin and street valium. Jameson, a long-standing crony of Scotland's crime godfather, was hauled back from the United Arab Emirates in a landmark move for Scottish crime fighters. Jameson, who appeared from prison via video link, admitted running the operation between March and May 2020 from a plush pad in Glasgow, as well as various locations in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. He admitted using encrypted EncroChat devices as part of a dirty money and narcotics plot involving a network of other mobsters, including Kingpin Stevenson. But the racket hit the skids when French and Dutch forces infiltrated the technology and handed over a trove of evidence to the National Crime Agency, Britain's answer to the FBI. It was part of the NCA's sprawling Operation Venetic, which resulted in an army of UK gangsters being swept up in an unprecedented number of raids and arrests. Incriminating data in the millions was also handed over to Police Scotland, fueling a wave of enforcement activity that saw scores of high-ranking hoods nicked while others scarpered abroad in a bid to evade justice. Jameson was among the runners who fled to Dubai, where he settled with partner Charlene Bentley, funding a luxury lifestyle with his ill-gotten gains. But Jameson finally faced justice when he was put on a flight to Glasgow in December, as he decided to plead guilty to being up to his neck in an organised criminal conspiracy. Thomas Ross KC, defending, told the court his client made his intention clear to plead guilty while he was still in Dubai, and noted the case did not involve any violence or intimidation, which is often a feature of cases of this kind. Judge Lord Scott took into account Jameson's early guilty plea before noting the saving of court time was the most significant mitigating factor. He then sentenced him to 6 years and made him the subject of a 4-year serious crime prevention order upon his release. He told him, "You have pleaded guilty to serious organised crime offences for a period of 54 days. Earlier Advocate Deputy Michael McIntosh told the court Jameson described his occupation as a dog breeder who lived in Glasgow before moving to Dubai in 2021. He said Jameson's offending came to light during the probe into EncroChat with Jameson using the handle Patrol Staff as part of his criminal activities. He communicated with a number of hoods, including Stevenson, who used the name Elusive Ale at the time of the offending. Mr McIntosh told the court, throughout March and April 2020, Mr Jameson discussed matters relating to the drugs trade with the user of the handle Elusive Ale. These messages have the tenor of a business relationship, with Mr Jameson and Elusive Ale discussing sums owed to them and the management of funds, and discussing the stock of drugs available to them for onward supply. Mr Jameson in particular refers to having 2 million pills sitting. He makes reference to tops, a common term for cocaine, and bottoms, a common term for diamorphine or heroin. The user of Elusive Ale at the time was Stevenson, who has since pleaded guilty to directing and being involved in organised crime and is presently serving a lengthy sentence of imprisonment. We told out Scottish police are understood to have travelled to the desert state to escort Jameson back home on an international arrest warrant. Jameson, now holed up in Barlinnie, was held in a Dubai jail as the NCA, Police Scotland and authorities in the United Arab Emirates joined forces to bring him in. It's believed to be the first time a suspect has been extradited from the United Arab Emirates to Scotland. We revealed last year that Jameson, who was previously sentenced to 8 years over another drug racket, was named in connection with Scotland's raging gang wars. Underworld sources claimed he got involved in a gym bust-up with feud instigator and former Union Bears capo Ross Miami McGill. The alleged clash happened in the months before McGill was forced to leave Dubai in September, along with the notorious and now snared Scottish mob boss Stephen Lyons and cocaine dealer Stephen Larwood. Meanwhile, upon returning to Scotland, Jameson, whose address was given in court papers as Dubai, initially made no plea during a short private hearing at Glasgow Sheriff Court. It's understood talks between Jameson's legal teams and Crown prosecutors made speedy progress, leading to Jameson's early guilty plea ruling out the need for a trial. A Police Scotland spokesman said at the time of his capture, "We are grateful for the cooperation and support from the National Crime Agency and law enforcement partners in the United Arab Emirates." Jameson's arrest and conviction is the latest stunning development linked to Scotland's Underworld, which has been in the thick of a year-long explosion of violence. Since March, Scottish police have arrested 63 suspects in their Operation Portalage crackdown on a feud that reignited the long-running conflict between Glasgow's Lions and Daniel crime clans. The chaos was sparked when the so-called Tamil Junta foot soldier Logan Carlin launched a firebomb attack on an Edinburgh salon linked to Cage Capital mob boss Mark Richardson. We told of claims it was linked to a revenge mission ordered by Lions-linked McGill, who blamed Richardson Associates for using fake cash in a £500,000 cocaine deal. More attacks then followed as the chaos spread to Glasgow, while members of the Daniel family were in the firing line. It was the biggest eruption in Underworld violence seen in years, but worse was to come when Lyons' brother Eddie Lyons Jr. and pal Ross Monaghan were both shot dead in Fuengirola in Spain. Alleged hitman, 45-year-old Michael Riley, was extradited to face trial over the murders at Monaghan's bar on the 31st of May last year. Scottish police have insisted the murders were not connected to the war in Scotland, where Spanish investigators claim Riley was a member of the Daniel mob. Then, in a sensational development last month, Lions crew chief Stephen was arrested in Bali in Indonesia as part of a coordinated Operation Armorum sting involving Interpol, Spain's Guardia Civil and Police Scotland. The 46-year-old was swept up with other alleged Lions cronies in Spain and Scotland, while his wife Amanda, who's 38, was nicked in Dubai, scuppering her plan to meet her husband in Bali. Lyons is now in an Amsterdam jail awaiting a June hearing over his extradition to Spain, where he is wanted in connection with money laundering and organised crime offences.